there is a 49-page, I believe, UN report just came out. And let me tell you, it says great things about Israel. Israel's systematic use of sexual, reproductive, and other forms of gender-based violence since October 2023. This is a UN report. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is not somebody's blog. This is a UN report. And this is yet, like with human shields, what is one of the number one claims that Israel makes against Hamas? Sexual crimes, right? Systemic. I guess I have to say R word or YouTube will like delete my video. They're already not showing it to anyone, but at least, but if I say R word, maybe they won't delete it. It is amazing how much YouTube is making sure we don't discuss real shit, not just Israel, but R wording. Here's from this UN report. Israel has increasingly employed sexual, reproductive, and other forms of gender-based violence against Palestinians as part of a broader effort to undermine their right to self-determination and carried out genocidal acts through the systematic destruction of sexual and reproductive healthcare facilities, according to a new report issued today by the UN Independent International Commission of Inquiry on the Occupied Palestinian Territory. I love that name. Their business card must look like a pool cover, you know? They must have to like carry it around with them with like 3 people at the back lifting up the end of the business card. The report documents a broad range of violations perpetrated against Palestinian women, men, girls, and boys. That sounds like all of the things, does it not? Across the occupied Palestinian territory since October 7th, that constitutes a major element in the ill treatment of Palestinians and are part of the unlawful occupation and persecution of Palestinians as a group. The evidence collected by the commission reveals a deplorable increase in sexual and gender-based violence. Oh, you mean the thing Israel accuses Hamas of every time you hear a word out of their mouths, and is then just faithfully repeated by all of our mainstream media? Oh, you mean that thing is what Israel's doing? Huh, that's funny, because I hear a lot about how Hamas is doing it. It's, for some reason, our mainstream media doesn't mention UN reports saying that Israel is doing it. There is no escape from the conclusion that Israel has employed sexual and gender-based violence against Palestinians to terrorize them and perpetuate a system of oppression that undermines their right to self-determination. The report found that sexual and gender-based violence, which has risen in frequency and severity, is being perpetrated across the occupied Palestinian territory as a strategy of war. Oh, it's a strategy. It's not just a rogue guy here or there. A strategy of war for Israel to dominate and destroy the Palestinian people. Specific forms of sexual and gender-based violence, such as forced public stripping and nudity, sexual harassment, including threats of R-word, as well as sexual assault, comprise part of the Israeli security forces' standard operating procedures towards Palestinians. Standard operating procedures. Not an accident, not a whoopsie. Not we have that rogue guy who's really awful human being. This is their plan. It's their strategy. And meanwhile, this is being largely funded and facilitated by the United States. We are the sugar daddy that allows this to go on. And, you know, it just shows, it shows so many things, but it also shows what garbage our mainstream media is. If they can't cover this, then what good are they? But meanwhile, they've covered, repeatedly covered utterly debunked stories of Hamas sexual assault on October 7th. So yeah, this is a pretty major report. 49 some pages detailing Israel's use of sexual violence.